Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Cine Geeks podcast where movies, TV, and good vibes collide. I'm Roy,
I'm Angela.
and for this episode, we are going to be talking about a couple of movies. One that's already in cinemas. Tapos yung isa, palabas pa lang.
Yes.
Yep. Okay, and the first one is Toy Story 5, directed by Andrew Stanton, co-written by Stanton with Kenna Harris, starring Tom Hanks, Tim Allen, Joan Cusack, marami pang iba.
And of course, the one that's upcoming pa lang is Power Ballad, directed by John Carney, written by Carney with Peter MacDonald, starring Paul Rudd and Nick Jonas.
That's right. But before we continue, we'd like to remind everyone who hasn't done so to please subscribe and follow our podcast wherever you watch and listen, like Spotify and YouTube. And if you had fun or liked our episode today, thumbs up naman dyan or 5-star rating on Spotify or even sa Apple Podcast.
Apple Podcast, I think 5 stars.
5 stars.
Yeah.
Yes.
And don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, where you can join in on the fun. Also visit our website, www.cinegeekspod.com, for the latest in movie and TV news and reviews.
Okay, so huwag natin patagalin pa. Let's go ahead and talk about the first film for this episode, and that's Power Ballad. Rick, a washed-up wedding singer, and Danny, a fading boy band star, bond over music and a late-night jam session. When Danny turns Rick's song into a hit, Rick sets out to reclaim the recognition he believes he deserves. Okay. So, bago tayo magsimula, we just want to thank Viewers Choice Philippines for inviting us to see the movie last June
Thursday,
18.
last week.
Oh, yun. So, last week. Okay. So, kaya ako pinrogram to, kuno, na unahin natin pag-usapan. Kasi, for those of you who have known us pre-Cine Geeks, alam niyong mga musikero kami.
Yes.
So, Ange, one of the country's premiadong jazz lounge singer. At ako,
Back in the day.
yeah. At ako, umepa lang ako bigla nung bago mag-pandemic na.
My favorite percussionist.
Ay, yan. So, yeah. So, before the world shut down and just reset everything, tayo ay tumutugtog.
Mga
Musicians tayo. Mga tumutugtog tayo sa lounge, sa hotels.
Sa mga private events,
Yes.
sa mga company events,
Tsaka sa mga casino.
Yeah. Lahat. And isa sa mga pinakamaraming beses naming natugtugan ay weddings.
Oo. So,
Oo.
grabe, ano yan. Parang, lalo na kapag June, for some freaking reason, tuwing Pasko.
June and December. Doon marami nagpapakasal.
Pasko.
Diyos ko,
Okay.
ang dami rin nating narating na puntahan ng mga iba-ibang lugar because of
dahil sa
our job
pagtugtog.
as musicians.
Shout out sa napuntahan natin sa Zambales. Siyempre, di natin mabanggitin kung sino yun doon. Pero merong isang private island na talagang pagpunta mo doon sa lugar na yun, parang, oh my God, Pilipinas pa ba to?
Very White Lotus.
Oo, yun.
Na?
Yan. Oo, yan. White Lotus before White Lotus was a
The
thing.
ultra-rich,
Yes.
parang ganon.
That's true. Okay. And with that in mind, since parehas tayong galing nga sa musician na background, I wanna ask you, did Power Ballad feel honest about yung life of a working musician?
Yes, actually, the gigging musician, I love that it reflected both sides Yung gigging musician, yung working sessionist, versus dun sa mga recording artists. Kasi magkaibang grupo din yan Alam mo yung kapag ka sa, halimbawa, in any industry, there are circles within circles.
Tama.
So, kapag sinabi mong mga session musicians, merong isang circle na puro mga session musicians na umiikot yan kung saan saang banda, nagpa-perform behind different artists, pero magkakaibigan.
Tama.
Tapos, kapag sinabi mo namang recording, that's parang a different
ibang circle yun.
league,
Tama.
kumbaga. Kasi yung mga artists na yon parang mas exclusive yung live performances nila. Most of their work happens in studios.
At saka, I would think na yung mga, dun sa circulation ng mga recording na musicians or even the concert musicians, parang
Iba
mas,
pa din yun.
na sila eh. Meron na silang expectation of yung the gigs that they get. Kumbaga parang andun na sila sa PBA, yung mga recording tsaka yung mga concert musicians. Tapos yung di naman this is not to put us down yung stature natin nun. Pero para tayo andun tayo sa mga, kung naabutan mo ba yung PBL nun? Yung parang pro amateur na liga. Pero hindi tayo tumutugtog sa mga concerts, sa mga recording. Pero we're still working musicians. Oo.
Actually, may overlap.
Okay.
Meron namang overlap. It's not mutually exclusive. Oo, kasi yung mga session musicians, sila din naman yung mga session backup sa mga concerts, sa mga recording.
Yung iba, yes. That's true.
So, although there is a parang distinction between them, napakita dito sa movie how different their process.
Their life.
Yung proseso nila when it comes to playing live in front of an audience versus yung composition.
That's true.
Yung pag-record ng mga kanta sa studio, yung pag-conceptualize ng isang song. So, yes, it reflected very much the real life experience of a working gig or session musician. Yeah.
As a musician, well, I mean, siguro, diba, I played full-time couple of years. No? Mga dalawang,
saglit
almost mga 2 taon. Kasi dapat magtutuloy sana siya kasi nga biglang COVID, boink.
Yeah.
Tapos tumigil bigla lahat. Pero up until that point, siguro almost 2 years na rin ako tumutugtog.
Flash nga natin yung mga pictures natin dyan. Mga tumutugtog tayo.
Okay.
Para may ma-share tayo sa ating mga listeners.
Kung nasa YouTube kayo, makikita niyo. Kung nagsa-Spotify video kayo, makita niyo.
Yeah.
So, ako, I would say na yes. Na nakuha, lalo na yung natutuwa ako dun sa scenes na tumutugtog yung banda ni Paul Rudd. Yung wedding band niya. Ano yung pangalan niya? Nakalimutan ko yung nakalagay sa likod ng truck nila eh. Pero pun yung pangalan ng banda nila eh. Nakakatawa eh.
Bride and Groove.
The Bride and Groove. Oo, yeah. Yung gusto ko yun eh. The Bride and Groove. Pero natuwa ako na nakukuha niya, or at least for the short scenes na tumutugtog yung sila as a wedding band. Nakukuha niya yung how fun it is, the energy of playing music live, especially yung feeding off of the energy nung audience. Kasi yun yung I don't want to presuppose or parang take away anything from the recording musicians or even the concert musicians. Kasi parang yun na nga kumbaga they're on a league of their own. Pero dun sa experience ko na tumutugtog tayo sa casino, sa wedding, sa events, sa lounge, sobrang iba yung satisfaction when the people that watch us not necessarily pay to see us play. Kasi yun na nga, kung halimbawa doon tayo sa lounge, let's say, ito, wag natin pangalanan, pero may isang hotel sa may MOA Seaside na 5-star, 6-star hotel pa ata.
Isa lang yata yung hotel doon.
Hindi, marami ng hotel doon eh. Pero yung isang 5-star hotel doon. Tapos meron siyang yung parang cafe lounge. Yan. So parang people go there to hang out, have coffee, meet with friends, eat. Tapos tayo, syempre, as lounge musicians, alam na natin tanggap na natin na we're going to be background music for these patrons, these customers. Pero yung satisfaction of seeing them recognize what we play and then seeing them yung
sing along
or kahit at least yung bopping their head along. Dun sa moments na yung pag nakikita na yung tuwang-tuwa yung sa wedding, yung mga yung guests and yung kinakasal dun sa mga scenes dito sa Power Ballad. Parang naalala ko na medyo may konting cute siya.
Yeah. Iba talaga when you play a small crowd.
Yes.
Kasi I've played
intimacy.
I've played both. Yung big concert, yung big stage talaga, and yung smaller stage like what you're telling yung story about yung lounge and that we're not always background music eh. Kasi when there are people who are engaged dun sa show or dun sa set natin, talagang they stay, they sing along, they request.
Ay, oo.
And-
Yun yung, sorry, just to, pero yun yung talagang ibang nag-level up siya. Kapag
Oo.
nakikita mong biglang magiging sayawan.
Yeah, they dance to the music. Alam mo yung ibang, you make their night memorable.
Yes.
And iba yung connection. Kahit nga, karamihan ng mga guests natin noon, international, di ba? So, sometimes, we understand each other through songs,
Yes.
not necessarily through conversations,
That's
because some of them don't even speak good English.
Oo.
Good English ba?
Pero pero pag nadinig nila yung kantang gusto nila, biglang magla-light up yung mata nila. Lalo na ikaw, yung karamihan ng repertoire mo nun, kinakanta mo yung mga
European
original
songs, yeah.
bossa, hindi na European, kinakanta mo yung mga bossa nova songs in
Brazilian
Portuguese.
and Portuguese.
Oo,
Yeah.
so makita mo pag may mga yung European, either sa Portuguese or yung mga Brazilian or any Portuguese speaking na mga foreigner.
Oo. Just
Bigla
ko,
sila parang
yeah.
biglang lilid.
Akala nila native speaker
Oo.
ako. Minsan may mga lumalapit sa akin,
Bigla
mga
ka nang
Spanish.
ipo-Portuguese bigla.
Bigla akong Espanyol. Sabi ko,
no habla.
No habla Espanyol.
No habla Espanyol.
No habla
Donde
Portuguese.
está la biblioteca? If you know, you know.
Oo.
Ay nako. Pero on that note, I would say na hindi naman kasi siya yung meat nung scene. It's just one part of power ballad. And ako, I would say na it works. That part of the movie, ikaw ba? Do you say that? Would you say it works?
Yes, of course. The authenticity is
Oo.
there. And kung mapanood to ng iba pang musicians, they will completely relate, especially sa mga weddings. Naka-preset na yung mga yung songs, yung set list.
Ito, full spoilers. So, if you haven't seen Power Ballad yet, nakalagay naman yung timestamps dyan.
Balik kayo dito
Balik kayo
after
dito.
24th.
May Toy Story muna. Sige, mag-jump muna kayo sa Toy Story. Tapos yun. Pero if you've seen it, stay. Yung gusto ko yung moment dito na nung tumutugtog na yung How to Write a Song Without You. Tapos inis na si Paul Rudd. Tapos yung isang kasal na in-request sa kanya yun.
Yung
inis
pang-song
na inis
na
na
yun.
parang hindi kasi yun yung pinag-usapan sa setlist, diba?
Oh my
Ito yung
God.
setlist na binigay namin sa'yo. Tapos agagil tayo doon. Pwede kang mag-request doon. Pero pag wala doon, hindi kami kakantahin yan. Ano yung nagkaroon na tayo ng ganun da?
If I have a penny for every time that happens, oh my God. As in.
Ay, Diyos ko.
Lalo na yung kapag may magja-jam ha. Na may kakanta ha. Pwede
Sure.
ba?
Sige, fine.
I mean, swerte kung marunong, kung
Oo.
magaling. Pero alam mo yung hirap na hirap yung banda kapag yung tipong
Walang
tone
timing yun.
deaf,
Or wala,
tempo deaf.
wala sa tempo yung kumakanta.
Kawawa talaga. Alam mo yung, sige na, just
Diyos ko.
smile, just
Oo,
smile and
sige
play.
Na, aabutan naman tayo yan mamaya. Ngiti na lang tayo. Ay, nakakamiss. Pero yun, on that part, we would say na it's a truly authentic. It was authentic to the life of a working musician. Yan. Okay. Sige, moving on naman tayo. Hindi lang naman yung magiging working musician nga. Yung parang meat nung kwento. Pero it's more about si Paul Rudd, yung character niya, si Rick, used to be a pop star.
Yes.
And yun nga, dahil part siya ng wedding band, nagko-compose siya in his spare time. So the conflict of the film is essentially ninakaw ni Nick Jonas, ni Danny, yung kanta niya. And yun na, the movie uses songwriting, credit, and recognition as
Plagiarism.
plagiarism, yun. Do you think na as a movie, siguro I would say na hindi inside baseball na mga audience members, is that a strong enough hook to, parang make them invested sa sine? Ikaw?
I think yes. Not necessarily kailangan meron kang inside information about how, composition and the music or intellectual property rights usually go or work. Pero it's just that ang dami na kasing mga popular songs that we latch on to na nagkakaroon ng parang litigation.
Malalaman mo, plagiarize pala.
Oo, ang dami ng ganyang issue, 'di ba? Yung for example, yung Thinking Out Loud ni Ed Sheeran. Everybody was so invested kasi that song was so popular. And then
Blurred
parang
Lines.
Ha?
Yung Blurred Lines.
Blurred Lines.
Yun. Oh.
I mean, local, 'di ba? Pinoy ako, 'di ba? Yung kay Orange and Lemons, talagang isa sa mga popular plagiarism issues 'yan.
Tama.
Marami pa. I mean, ang dami-daming mga tinagalog na mga songs.
Ay,
Particularly Japanese
oo.
songs na
Oh my
kinlaim ng
God.
local songwriter or ng local artist as original. And then, you'll discover na hindi
Hindi
pala.
pala. Ano yun?
So,
Sukiyaki ba yun?
hindi sukiyaki.
May isa pa.
Ano yun?
Ano yung nais ko makapiling ka muli.
Yan.
Yun.
Isa yun.
Tapos biglang Japanese pala yun. Oh!
Oo.
Today you learned.
Iba naman yung parang ginagawa ni Weird Al na inaano niya, pinaparody niya.
Pinaparody niya, yes.
Or
Iba yun.
yung ginagawa ni Michael V.
Iba din
iba
yun.
din yun.
Iba din yun.
Pero yung talagang tipong ginaya yung entire chord, entire as in kahit yung chorus, kahit yung bridge parehas, parang yung sa Pinoy Ako.
Ay, tanungin kita. Sige, follow-up question dyan. Hot topic. Anong masasabi mo tungkol dun sa mga AI slap na kanta na nasa YouTube ngayon? Yung parang, may, meron kasi tayong, ayoko lang sabihin kung saan, okay? Kasi we love that place to death. Pero we're there so often. And yung background music niya, I mean, hindi ko naman kasi masasabi na parang ano siya yung tipong,
Parang alam ko yan.
yeah, hindi mo naman masasabi na parang alam nila yung difference of where the music is coming from. Basta pag may YouTube, tas tugtog, click lang yan. Pero, nadidinig mo na yung parang mga AI version ng mga popular na kanta. How do you feel about that?
Alam mo, there is a very distinct difference.
Mm-hmm.
Siguro, mas magiging sensitive yung tenga mo if musician ka talaga. Kasi mapapansin mo na yung details na, wait lang, mali yung akorde na yon or mali yung phrasing nung kanta. Parang, they should know this. Pero, kung totoong tao to, if you stylize it, it will still make sense. Pero yung parang sobrang randomness niya makes it parang confirmed na AI yan.
Kasi may mga videos na parang may isa pa tayong frequent na lugar before na ang madalas na tugtog nila. I mean, this is not in any way to put down this artist. It is to say na parang they make it their own. Yung madalas pinapatugtog yung mga video ni Michael Pangilinan. Yung talagang he makes it the songs his own talaga.
Iba naman kasi yung mga runs kapag ginawa mong, halimbawa, ang tawag doon, binabali mo yung kanta.
Yan.
Iniiba mo yung melody minsan, or tinataas mo, ibinababa mo, binibigyan mo ng sarili mong flavor.
Yes.
Iba yon dun sa AI slap na talagang minamali yung kanta.
Alam mo yung natatawa ako dun sa pag nadidinig ko yung AI na version ng kanta. Parang, alimbawa,
parang nag-glitch no?
Oo, alam mo yung parang, alimbawa, kanta, Backstreet Boys, na parang, I don't care who you are, where you're from, what you did, as long as you love me. Tapos, yung AI version, I don't care who you are, where you're from. Pabiglang may gagawin bigla. Hala,
or parang mali yung placement nung niya, nung mga phrases niya.
Oo, or biglang may isang note na biglang, where you're from. Biglang, saan galing yan?
It's the randomness.
Yes, yun, exactly.
You will feel it naman kaagad. Pero, how do I feel about it? Parang I feel icky in a way. At the same time, parang confident na, okay, AI will never replace original music.
Yeah, that's very true.
Iba yung heart kapag ka original kapag ka tao talaga yung gumawa. Kapag ka AI, ramdam mo na it's all computer Kahit na, okay, they were able to make the voice sound parang seemingly human, diba?
That's true.
Tapos maganda rin yung tunog, maganda yung timbre, maganda yung quality ng boses,
That's true.
nasa tono, sometimes wala sa timing, pero sa mga untrained ear, hindi nila madedetect yan. Pero something will feel off.
Yan.
Alam mo yung feeling music really thrives and lives on feeling.
On feeling. And, sorry, just to circle back lang si Powerball, I'm pretty sure that it's that parang sensitivity to the heart of art, kumbaga, that I think, will get to people then. Kasi, especially kung halimbawa sabihin natin na, you don't even have to be an artist to really latch on to what the movie is trying to say.
Mm-mm.
I mean, as simple as, let's say, sabihin natin na you're a worker sa isang opisina and you do something for the company. Tapos, how would you feel if somebody swoops in and then just, grabs, takes credit
Yeah.
for what you did? Diba?
Mm-mm.
Ganun eh. Parang at its core napaka-universal yung kwento na itong power ballad.
Oo.
And I think John Carney and Peter McDonald did a good job in fleshing out the humanity in the
Mm-mm.
conflict.
Oo.
Kasi masabi ko lang na for those who are, looking for a very plot-heavy, parang plagiarism story na parang may good, may bad, tapos how they clash
Litigate
and how they
that
litigate
case.
and
Oo.
how the good guy wins. It's not that kind of story. Masabi na kasi
Oo.
it's more about what his life's work, his meaning si Rick, si Paul Rudd,
Oo.
what it means to him.
Oo.
Yun yung pinaglalaban niya eh.
It's about meaning, the heart behind the art.
The heart, yeah.
Quotable quotes.
Yes.
The heart behind the art.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true.
And yeah, I completely agree with what you said na usually when we hear stories about plagiarism, we are more concerned about sinong nanalo, paano
Yun.
yung kaso,
Oo, tama.
magkano yung binayad, anong damages. And yun nga, parang may pagka-revenge plot eh. Pero yes, it's really just about the artist expressing himself and claiming that a piece of his art that came from his heart is his.
That's true.
Yun lang.
On that note, I would like to say, actually sinabi ko na to dun sa walk and talk natin na natuwa ako dun sa sa yung kung paano pinlay ni Paul Rudd yung character niya dito. This is
I love
Paul Rudd. I wouldn't say na like I've never seen him before, pero we rarely see this gear from him. Kasi especially lately, lalo na yung Ant-Man na yung niya, yung kanyang parang role du jour niya lagi. Pero rarely natin nakikita yung talagang he's just an everyman.
You know who he reminds me of? Parang si Adam Sandler sa Punch Drunk Love or sa Spanglish.
Mas parang Spanglish na, I agree.
Yon, yung sobrang
tama.
statement, not really after the punchlines, ganyan,
Oo.
or hindi siya nagpi-physical comedy or whatever.
Pero meron pa rin naman. There are Paul Ruddisms here to be had. May mga sobrang LOL moments pa rin si Manong Paul. Hindi mawawala yun. Pero hindi yun yung kanyang front and center na Paul Rudd dito. And I really appreciated that from him. It shows versatility. It shows range. That's true. Punta naman tayo sa kabilang dako kay Nick Jonas.
Are you a fan?
Of what he did?
Jonas Brothers.
I wouldn't say a fan, pero I grew up listening to their music. I mean,
they're a millennial icon.
Oo eh. Siyempre yung mga, ano yung...
I'm a sucker for you.
Hindi ba, may isa pa, yung, Love Bug? Yan,
wow.
Love Bug. Ano
I
pa?
mean, Camp Rock.
Camp Rock, yung mga yun. Siyempre, sila eh, parang...
You're the positive inside my head.
Si ano na yan, si Joe na yan eh. Pero Jonas Brothers pa rin, nonetheless. Oo. Pero, dito sa scene na to, sige, I think it could have been somebody else. Sana iba na lang. Medyo nakulangan ako doon sa dalang grabe. This is not to say na pangit yung acting ni Nick. I mean, I was actually surprised about at how he was able to go toe-to-toe with Paul Rudd, especially doon sa mga dramatic moments ng sine.
I wouldn't say toe-to-toe. He does his best, pero
kasi, masabi ko lang kasi, na kaya hindi niya madala yung drama talaga. Kasi, there are roles na really ask of the actor to bring in their life experience doon sa role.
Okay.
So halimbawa parang let's say kaya maganda na kapag yung mga bad characters, evil or yung mga bad guys, villains or yung mga anti-hero, I know you're watching us. Pero perfect siya kay Baron Geisler. Kasi,
You
you
know that
know.
they've fought with demons in
Yes.
their lives. So,
Oo.
meron silang pinaghuhugutan.
That's true. So, you said a name
Mm.
na perfect sana
Yeah.
for this role. And
I
that
did.
name is...
Harry Styles.
Yon.
Not that mas favorite ko si Harry Styles over
Hindi
Nick
eh.
Jonas ha. Pero feeling ko kasi, ito naman yung reason ko kung bakit.
Mm.
Kasi, let's go to the meta casting.
Sige.
Tama naman yung Nick Jonas fits the bill. Na siya yung parang boy band, coming from a boy band era, tapos trying to make a name for himself as a solo artist. Yun nga lang, nagkaroon siya ng instant success. Ano to ha? In real life
In real life, IRL.
Instant success naman kasi si Nick Jonas nung nag-solo siya eh. So parang
Nick Jonas o si Harry Styles?
Nick.
Oh?
Oo. In-embrace naman agad siya eh, nung nag-solo siya eh.
True.
May Jonas Brothers pa, nag-solo na siya, in-embrace siya. There was no struggle there.
So, ano yung kanta niya isa? Hindi, nagano muna siya, nag-featuring muna siya, di ba? Yung Cake by the Ocean muna.
Si Joe yata yun.
Si Joe ba yun? Sige. I-editor's note ko dito kung...
Oo.
Sige.
Pero yun nga napaka well-adjusted kasi nung boy band era niya.
Mm.
Tapos mga kapatid niya pa yung kasama niya. So he had nothing to prove talaga to himself other than dun sa, sige, nag-solo siya, pero naging successful din siya.
Mm.
Tapos, yung solo career niya is not that far off from his image as a Jonas brother. So para sa akin, hindi naman niya ni-reinvent yung sarili niya per se.
Mm.
Tapos, yun nga, parang he has lived a charmed life. So parang feeling ko, it doesn't quite fit the bill na parang may chip on his shoulder siya.
That's true.
Kasi masyado siyang well-adjusted.
That's true. I agree.
Whereas, Harry Styles, parang sobrang riddled with controversy yung buhay niya. May contention, may conflict siya with his bandmates. So, nagkaroon ng parang di ba, may away-away sila minsan nung One Direction. Tapos, it's not exactly a charmed life for Harry Styles.
Talagang he fought through hell to become a successful solo artist. And actually, he's a great actor. I mean, kung napanood niyo yung SNL niya, he's an excellent comedian.
He's a better actor.
He's a better actor talaga.
Oo.
Dunkirk. Diba? Okay na yun sana.
I mean, kung na-direct ka na ni Christopher Nolan, diba? I think mas meron ka ng a notch higher level in acting.
Pero sige, let's take the movie as it is and let's ask you about Nick's performance. As it stands, was he able to bring justice doon sa kanyang side of the conundrum, kumbaga?
Pagdating dun sa writing, oo. On paper.
Diyos ko.
The character really goes through stuff.
Walang si John Carney. Lalo na pag mga movie na tungkol sa music.
Yeah, I love him. He also directed Begin Again. Yeah.
Tsaka Sing Street. One of two of the more lauded music-based. Ni musical music-based
not quite
films.
musicals.
Yes.
Yeah, so pagdating dun sa kanyang conflict na dun sa character ni Nick, nakulangan pa ako dun sa drama.
Oo.
Dun sa party mode. Oo. I can believe that. Pero dun sa drama, parang hindi, medyo na-outshine siya dun ni Paul.
Lalo na dun sa moment na yung kinonfront na siya ni Rick doon sa hot tub niya. Dun dapat parang nagpapanik na siya eh. Pero parang siyang, hindi ko nakikita. Parang, seryoso mo ba siya?
Medyo blank face pa siya. Hindi pa niya alam yung mata-mata acting.
Pero there's a scene, after that scene, na nung nagka-scuffle na sila, na medyo nabawi niya ng konting-konti yung sarili niya. Pero kasi yung foundation nung emotion nung scene na yon after, yung scuffle, should have been planted doon sa hot tub scene pa lang. Kailangan
nakikita mo na nakukonsensya siya.
True.
Na parang conflicted siya doon sa ginawa niya. I mean, on paper, yun yung nakasulat sa screenplay. I'm pretty sure. Pero, yung pag-translate nun on screen sa mukha niya and sa acting niya and sa delivery niya ng lines niya, kulang.
That's true. Hey, Pero again, that's not to say that the movie isn't good, okay?
It was very good,
The movie was
actually.
very good.
I was not expecting anything, pero I really enjoyed it.
That's true. I
Not
did.
just because it's a music movie. Pero I love Paul Rudd to death. As in, any Paul Rudd movie, I know na I will enjoy.
Yan.
Pero I wasn't expecting to really feel it
Yes.
in my meow meow.
Yun sobrang niyang meaningful. I would
Yeah.
say it's not just a good movie. It's a very meaningful movie. It's for anyone who has ever had a dream that was taken from you,
Mm.
or siguro at the very least nagkaroon ka ng pangarap na I would say hindi naintindihan ng mga nasa paligid mo. Yon. Kasi parehas silang meron sila parehas na chips on their shoulder eh. Kasi yun yung kay Nick, yung kay Danny. Gusto niyang seryosohin siya. And that's a very, real
Yeah.
talagang issue or dilemma to have as a person. And then yung kay
In
Rick
any
naman,
industry.
true. Yes, yung kay Rick naman, na parang he just wants his heart to be understood
Mm-mm.
as it is. And
Oo.
on that note, I like this movie a lot. I wouldn't say I loved it. Hindi pa siya umabot ng konti na, pero I really liked it a lot. Ikaw, anything to close this for Power Ballad?
The story feels a lot like Coco. One of my favorite movies as well.
Ito.
Alam mo yung hindi naintindihan nung popular singer, yung inspiration nung kantang ninakaw niya.
That's true.
'Di ba? Parang it's so Coco.
At saka naalala ko yung sinabi ko sa'yo, parang nagda-drive tayo, tapos tumugtog bigla yung Isn't She Lovely?
Ayun,
Stevie
isa pa
Wonder.
yun. Oo.
I'm guilty of that, especially in my younger years. Na parang kapag sabi, Isn't She Lovely? Oh my God, parang sa crush ko to. Oh, ang ganda-ganda niya. Tapos pinakinggan ko pa talaga yung parang Isn't She Lovely? Tapos yung Life is Aisha. Huh? Parang, para sa anak niya.
It's
So,
not a love song.
It's not a love song.
Spoiler yan So if you wanna...
I mean, kung andito pa sila, wala na silang pakialam sa spoiler.
Yeah.
Yun. Pero yun. So, ako personally, I would give this, siguro I would knock the movie a few points down for Nick Jonas's acting. And siguro I would have wanted a more concrete, kumbaga, na parang ending to the
Ako, I love
to
the
the
ending.
story. Kaya ako sa akin, I would just say na it's a B+. Ikaw?
Same that yun nga, medyo nakulangan pa ako kay Nick Jonas, pero I'm sure if he takes acting seriously, mag-improve pa naman siya. Nandun naman na yung yung foundations of a good start in acting. Pero because of Paul Rudd, I'll give it a B+ as well.
Okay. So that's a B+ from us for Power Ballad. Nire-record namin to June 22. It's gonna come out June 24. So, or if you watch it afterwards, it's in cinema. So, panalo niya. Yeah, it's worth a trip to the cinema.
It's one of those comfort movie watching.
Oo, napaka-feel good niya.
Yeah.
Actually. Ayun. Okay, sige. That's it for Power Ballad. Punta naman tayo sa ating final film for this episode, and that's Toy Story 5. Woody, Buzz, Jesse, and the rest of the gang's jobs are challenged when they're introduced to electronics, a new threat to playtime. Yung logline na yun pala, as usual, sponsored from IMDb. Pero parang mali, kasi electronics naman sila eh. Di ba dapat parang tech?
Not all of them.
True.
Kasi ragdoll si Jessie tsaka si Woody.
Pero meron silang yung Reach for the Sky, yung may parang voice box nila. So,
hindi naman electronic yun, mas battery.
so electronic pa rin siya.
O nga, no?
Dapat tech, or parang yun, new technology. Sige. So when they're introduced to new technology, so it's basically iPad, usually lipad. Diyan din nila pwedeng gamitin yung iPad kasi ang Pixar galing sa Apple. So kalaban si Apple, si iPad.
Nga. Baka makasuhan pa.
Oo. Ay, nako. Sige.
Tsaka baka mapaint ang iPad bad.
That's a different discussion for a different day. Pero let's just dive right into the biggest question that everybody has sa kanilang ulo. Did you feel that Toy Story could have already ended perfectly with Toy Story 3?
Oh my God. yan na yata yung pinaka most discussed
Mhm.
na topic when it comes to Toy Story. Parang should they have extended the series, the franchise? I mean, for money, sure.
For
I mean,
merchandise. Yeah.
it's all about the money, syempre. Pero ako, as a millennial who grew up talaga and actually shared the same childhood as Andy,
Mhm.
na nagkaroon ng coming of age, na lumaki ako with toys and then I had to grow up and,
Move
set my
forward.
toys aside.
Yes.
Um, notwithstanding yung sa technology kasi that came at the time na medyo college na ako niyan or high school.
Mhm.
Pero siguro ito yung ito yung pinaglalaban ko talaga. Toy Story 1, 2, 3, perfect trilogy.
My God.
It should have
Yes.
ended in Toy Story 3,
That's
yung
true.
Andy trilogy. Okay? With that being said, if they wanted to continue Toy Story, total, may bagong bata, 'di ba? Si Bonnie.
Mhm.
They should have used different toys for Bonnie.
Or at the very least, made these new toys the forefront of the new trilogy, I would say.
Oo. Kumbaga, ni-retire na din nila si Woody, si Buzz, at saka si Jessie. Tsaka yung ibang mga lumang toys. And let Bonnie have her own toys na hindi namana because she has her own childhood.
That's
Siyempre,
true.
may mga bata na like mga, ano ba yung mga usong laruan na nun? Mga princess, Sophia the First, yung mga ganyan.
Corporate synergy.
Lala Loopsy.
Yung mga ganun. Pero ito, on that note, I think Toy Story 4 tried to do that with Forky. Pero ako, sabi ko lang, in my opinion, the reason why 4 didn't work for me was because, one, yun na nga, Toy Story 3 was the perfect conclusion
Perfect
on
ending.
its own.
Oo.
Talaga.
Should have ended there.
No, and two, nawala yung yung paano ba to? For the lack of a better term, the philosophical leaning or slant of the Toy Story films. Kumbaga, para siyang it's not I know that the Toy Story films are merchandising vehicles.
Of course,
Toys. Hindi naman, and this is not in any way to rag on the franchise itself. Kasi we know it's a business, da-da-da-da-da.
We understand that.
Pero yung 4 kasi parang ano yung sasabihin niya about childhood, about growing up. Parang wala eh. Kasi ano nga doon, naging kwento niya nila Woody and Buzz and trying to get back to Bonnie. So it's an adventure on its own. Pero as a movie na parang kumbaga up to the high standards that Pixar
and Toy Story established.
So yeah, medyo mini review lang to ng Toy Story 4 kasi alam ko may sinigig sa tayo nun. Pero hindi natin siya nagawa ng episode.
Really?
Alam ko hindi natin siya nagawan eh.
Toy Story 4. Anong taon ba lumabas yun?
Toy Story. Ay, hindi pa pala. Pre-pandemic pa. Pre-pandemic pa pala yung Toy Story 4. Wala pa talaga sinigigs. So,
pero
mahabol kami.
Nandun na tayo sa stage na parang we should start the podcast na nandun na tayo parang siguro this was 10 years in the making talaga itong sinigigs eh.
Yun. So, on that note, okay, promise, this is gonna be a positive discussion. Hindi lang to puro, dito we hate Toy Story. Pero yung Toy Story 4, I think, was a very lackluster entry dun sa Pentalogy na ba? Pentalogy na. Lima na eh.
I remember feeling so disappointed.
Yes, same.
Paglabas ko ng, alam mo, I have this very strong connection and attachment to these toys. Kasi parang I feel like these are my toys. These are characters I grew up with.
Mm-hmm.
Tapos dun sa Toy Story 4, parang sabi ko, yun, pinuntahan ng mga story nila? Bakit ganun? Parang, okay na yung Toy Story 3 eh.
Hindi kayang isalba ni Keanu Reeves mag-isa.
Oo,
Toy
tsaka
Story 4.
bakit pinili ni Woody yun? Parang it
Ba't
goes
siya
against
umalis?
his character.
Yes,
He's the sheriff of the entire group, 'di ba? Then
that's
why
true.
would he abandon his crew? Yun yung parang sa akin talagang hanggang ngayon I still wrestle with every time nakikita ko si Woody and bumalik siya dito na parang
Ba't mo kami iniwan?
oo,
Sige, ito.
masama pa rin loob ko hanggang ngayon.
Sige, now that our feelings and thoughts about Toy Story 4
Is this therapy?
is out in the internet forever. Sige, tanongin naman kita ito. Did Toy Story 5 work for you?
Surprisingly, it did.
It did.
It did.
It did.
I really enjoyed it.
It did.
I don't know if it's because sobrang baba na ng expectation ko and I was so let down.
I mean,
Let down by Toy Story
that's
4
one part.
that the bar was too low.
Mm.
Kaya parang, okay, sige. Pero alam mo yung masama pa rin loob ko na dapat tapos na to eh. Na-extend nyo pa eh, parang for business' sake. Pero, yeah, surprisingly, I enjoyed it. Ikaw?
Ako, yes. I actually, alam mo, if anything pa nga, this is a very strong entry into the Toy Story saga. Kasi, actually, maswerte sila. Kasi nakahanap sila bigla ng parang
Common
philosophical conundrum.
villain. Yeah, I
na
agree.
madaling i-put into a metaphor, a parable with toys.
Exactly. It was relevant.
Yon, bumalik sa relevancy yung kwento na pinapalabas ng Toy Story. I mean, of course, you've seen the trailers if you're watching this. Basically this is them, the toys versus tech. Which is yung mga iPad, yung mga devices, yung mga sa may screen. Yun yung kalaban nila. And hindi nila kalaban yon not because parang, tech is bad. Kasi there are moments in this movie that even the toys themselves are, admitting na, sabi ni Woody na, toys are for play. But tech is something
for
everything
else.
So, even they are cognizant of the fact that tech is needed sa buhay.
It's necessary.
Oo. Pero, ang pinaka nagustuhan ko dito is the fact that they are now tackling how very different the definition of play is for children nowadays
of this generation.
Mga Gen Alpha, Gen Beta, yung tawag doon?
Yung mga baby pa lang, kapapanganak pa lang.
Pero nag-iPad na.
I mean,
yun yung dun eh.
Isa din yun sa mga parang we wrestle with. Yung concept na children using devices. Kasi lumaki tayo, na hindi tayo gumagamit wala tayong devices.
Ako, 16 ako nung nagkaroon ako ng device.
Ano pa yung unang device mo? Mukhang calculator.
Hindi naman. iPod Touch.
iPod Touch ang una mo?
Oo. Yun yung,
wala kang analog?
And syempre may mga 3315, yung mga ganun. Syempre, pero for communication yan. Pero yung device that, you really parang nakaka-absorb talaga ng attention. Yun, dun pa lang. 16 anyos na ako nagkaroon ng device na ganun.
May YouTube na ba ng panahon na yun?
Oo naman. Meron naman. High school pa lang tayo, may YouTube na. Pero, nakakita mo yung mga bata ngayon. Yun na nga eh. Pero ito ngayon, makita mo yung mga bata. 5, 6 years old, even as early as 3 years old.
Oo.
May makakasabay tayo sa grocery, nakapila tayo, nakaupo dun sa yung shootan ng bata
Shootan.
Tapos nakahawak yung bata, nakaganon cellphone. Tapos pag titingin ako ganun, nag-ML. How?
Hindi lang Roblox.
Yun na nga, di man na Roblox, nag-ML yung bata. Pero yun yung ang ganda nung natackle niya. Yung children these days define play very differently than how we did as children before.
Exactly.
We developed our imagination playing with inanimate objects that we call toys.
Yeah. And here, this time, they have audio-visual stimuli. They have audio-visual aids na they didn't really have to use their imagination the same way that we did. Not that they don't use it. Pero it's just that their brain works differently. And their play is so different from ours.
Tsaka ito, masabi ko lang isang yung sobrang ayoko sabihin mind-blowing. Kasi, actually, if anything nga, parang siya medyo parang, hindi man creepy din. Parang, eerily prescient. Yun yung
Okay.
gagamitin kong term to describe the story. Yung how, yun na nga, the definition of play is different for kids nowadays. Even how they define friendships.
The
is
human
very-
connection.
The human connection is so warped.
Oh
by
my God, that's
Grabe
so relevant.
Yung subplot. Again, we are doing spoilers. So, kung hindi nyo pa napapanood yung Toy
Oo.
Story din, go watch it first. If you don't care, if you've seen it, stay. Yung
Tama ka dyan.
yung subplot na minamaniobra ni Lily, played by Greta Lee, yung iPad, na bigla niyang ginagawang friends ni Bonnie yung mga ibang nakalilipad.
Through group chats.
Through group chat. Parang ako, oh my God. Parang
That's
ako,
how they make their play dates.
Jesus
Hindi yung pupunta ka sa
Christ.
bahay ng kapitbahay mo, tapos makikipaglaro ka, makikipagkilala ka.
Ay, Diyos ko.
Alam mo yung, ito, I laugh. I laughed at this when I first heard this term. Pero alam mo yung sinasabi ng mga Gen Z na organic encounter.
Yan.
As in, talagang sabi ko, do you need to define that? That's how you meet people. Pero apparently, nowadays, you have to manufacture and actually be more intentional with meeting people
That's true.
organically.
Ayun, it's so sad. Ito, maano ko lang, maisingit ko lang, sorry. Alala ko, nung bata ako, meron akong isang, bata kami nung panahon na, kung matanda na siya by this time.
Matanda ka na din
Matanda na rin ako Pero, may basketball court kasi malapit sa amin doon. Doon sa kung saan ako nakatira nung mga 6-7 years old ako. Tapos ito yung kasagsagan ng Star Wars, ng special editions. So, nung yung bata na yon, ang laruan lang namin noon dalawang stick, yung stick ng balloon. Yung puting plastic stick ng balloon. Meron siyang dalawang hawak. Nakita niya ako, tapos tinanong niya ako, gusto niya ba ako maglaro? Ang ginawa namin nun, yung lightsaber.
Dalawang stick ng
Dalawang
balloon.
stick ng balloon. That was playtime for us.
Oo.
At 6 years old. Pero ngayon makita mo yung 6 years old, parang may makita ka bata na nag-Roblox.
Oo. Tapos, friends niya.
Minecraft.
Nagulat nga ako, yung isang apo ko, yes, I have an apo. 3, in fact. May 3 na akong apo sa pamangkin. As in, sabi niya, ano pa lang to, bata pa to, elementary. Na syempre, alam mo naman yung mga bata ngayon, lahat na nasa cellphone. Anong ginagawa mo? Sabi, naglalaro po. Ano nilalaro mo? Kalaro ko lang po yung mga classmate ko, ha? So, again, it's communication, connection, and playtime being so drastically different from what I know as an adult.
That's true.
Talagang ganun na Ganun na yung
ang ganda
generation ngayon.
Ang ganda nung way that Pixar, I would say, this is vintage Pixar with how they were able to capture the zeitgeist and transform it into a very universal story na gamit itong canvas of these characters that we've known and loved. Kung magulang ka, kung halimbawa, our age, na may anak ka na, tapos ikaw yung Andy dun sa first 3 movies, tapos may anak ka, tapos
parang age na nga ni Andy, no? Yung
parents, di ba?
And I love that they are featuring front and center yung parents
Yun,
this time.
true.
Kasi dati parang, alam mo yung cow and chicken?
Parang ganun. Yung
Parang,
kalahati na ng katawan.
mga
yung legs lang.
yung pinapakita.
That's true.
Kung alam mo pa yung cow and chicken, masakit na likod mo.
That's true. Nag-ano ka na. Nagme-maintenance ka na. Yun. Pero, gusto ko dito na kahit yung dun sa side ng parents, kita mo yung conundrum kung bakit, alam mo yung wala kaming children. Okay?
We have
Cats.
actually.
We have 4 kids, cats.
Pero
human children,
mga apo lang.
mga apo, pero I would assume na for the parents out there na kaedad natin, that, this is no judgment. If you are the parents who really, allow your kids at a very young age to have access to new technology, you have your reasons and we respect that.
Oo.
And I love that the movie did not vilify
Oo.
the parents who
There was no
struggle.
judgment.
Walang
Oo.
judgment eh. Kasi parang kita mo ito, yung isang parent doon, yung parents ni Bonnie, kita mo parang VA ata siya. Kasi nagko-computer siya dun sa sala, nagtatrabaho. I would assume
Hindi,
nagtatrabaho siya.
parents ni
Yung parents din ni girl, nakalimutan ko yung isa. Yung basta yung other
Oo.
girl. Yung parents din niya, oo. Pero yung tatay niya, ni Bonnie,
may mga Zoom meetings.
oo, na
naka-work
nagtatrabaho din
from
siya.
home.
Pero they use that so they can focus on other stuff.
Important
stuff.
Oo.
Yan, yung tatay ng other girl. Yan, lagay ko yung pangalan dito kasi nakalimutan ko. I'm so sorry. Pero yung kita mo na nagzo-Zoom meeting siya.
Oo.
Kaya siya sobrang disconnected na pag tayo niya bigla, okay, what are we gonna eat? Parang gano'n na, lumabas bigla sa opisina, parang kakain na lang eh. Pero yun, ang ganda kasi, balanse siya. Balanse yung pagkakalat nung viewpoint, nung sine, na toys are still toys. We play with them. Pero, yung other side naman ng why technology is a necessity, hindi siya pinakitang masama eh.
It's a tool just like everything else. Just like AI, 'di ba? Pero it's how you use it and
True.
how it helps you in the end. So, with that, 'di ba nga, nagulat tayo na Lilipad also wants what's best for Bonnie. So, yun yung parang touching doon na technology also wants to help you. Diba? They don't want to disconnect you. It's up to you if you let it happen.
That's true.
Or if you use that as a crutch. Na dun ka na lang talaga. Pero kasi, technology wants to help you achieve your goals.
That's true.
And, yun, sometimes, minsan, na-abuse yung technology. Na-abuse yung tool, kaya hindi na siya nakakatulong. In fact, it hurts you.
It hurts. That's true.
And sometimes, AI does not know what's best for you.
What's best for you.
Kasi they just assume with the data that they have. Remember yung sa isang part ng story na inassume kasi ni Lilipad na these are how kids meet and this is what Bonnie needs. Bonnie needs to have friends. So parang siya eh, parang yun nga, AI mag-isip. So parang the end justifies the means. But sometimes toys being more experienced and mas kilala nila yung bata and they're not depending on any kind of data na fed to them. Yun, there has to be a way to compromise and have synergy. May balance dapat pa rin.
That's true. That's true. And on the other end of that, ang ganda na sinabi mo na yung si Lily is doing what's best for Bonnie. Ang bida natin dito, front and center, is Jessie. Yay! After 5 movies! After 4 movies. Kasi sa Toy Story 2 pala siya pumasok. After 4 movies, si Jessie ang ating bida. On that note, nag-work ba sa'yo na si Jessie naman ang ating protagonist of the story?
Oh yes, definitely. Actually, bumalik nga yung heart ng movie when Jessie became front and center. Kasi...
Or Jessica?
Jessica.
Gusto ko tinawag siyang Jessica ni Lily.
Oh, you did not just use the J word.
Not just the J word.
Pero yeah, Jessie being the main character of this movie actually works. Kasi nga, especially with us na sobrang disappointed na sa kwento ng pinuntahan ng character ni Woody. Or, I mean, Buzz had his spotlight na rin naman. Pero,
sa 2 siya.
Pero Jessie, it's a long time coming. And I'm glad that she's finally getting her flowers now.
24 years in the making. Ako, sobrang na-appreciate ko na nagkaroon ng closure yung
yung origin story
thread,
niya.
yung origin story niya na parang, grabe, alam mo yung...
Oo nga, one of the most heartbreaking yun.
Alam mo yung tuwing napapanood natin yung scene na yun, parang akong, wait, pause. Kailangan ko muna umiyak. Yung When Somebody Loved Me na kanta. Jesus Christ, grabe. One of the... kaya mga millennial, ganito kami. We grew up on pain. Yun. Pero ang ganda na naitali nila na parang kung bakit
Nagka-full circle,
nagka-full
no?
circle moment kung na nagkaroon ng closure si Jessie din
Mm-mm.
along with yung issue niya ng abandonment
Oo, and self-worth.
and self-worth.
Grabe, sobrang universal din talaga ng mga struggle ng mga toys
Oo, pero ang gusto ko dito, may singitan natin na yung closure ni Jessie when it comes to abandonment, na i-slot din nila perfectly doon sa kwento with Tech.
Oo.
Because we have fantastic new additions to the Toy
Oh my
Story
God.
universe.
This is my favorite
My
part.
favorite character being Mr. Smarty Pants.
Alam mo, sobrang smart and sobrang
Conan.
witty nung
Galing.
pagkakapasok ng character ni Smarty Pants.
Ang galing.
Kasi they were able to inject bathroom humor to an otherwise very wholesome franchise.
Ano rin yung
Number one.
Yung number one. You're
Yeah,
number one.
Number one.
Conan O'Brien is fantastic. Ay, just ko
Ang galing
mariosip.
niya.
Ang galing ni Conan talaga.
Scene stealer siya,
Ay, my
actually.
God. I love...
Pero more than Conan, I loved his character and yung niya, band of parang has-been tech.
yung
toys
camera,
din.
tsaka yung si Snappy, at tsaka si Atlas.
Oo.
Yan. Tsaka gusto ko na yun nga, na-weave back nila na not all tech are currently relevant.
Mas mabilis pa nga
mas
yung turnover
Mm.
kapag tech, di ba?
Yun, kaya nga alam mo yung, eto pa, sobrang, grabing andam, maya ako umiiyak dito sa sining to. Sini to. Yung kahit as simple as the visual of yung nung pinuntahan na ni Smarty Pants tsaka ni Jessie, nung kinuha nila si Snappy tsaka si Atlas sa drawer, may pala ko, yung drawer of old tech.
Parang, you don't want them to be in the dark inside the box,
Oo.
parang ganon. And then Jessie parang came to her senses.
Na parang, oo nga, kasi ganoon siya. Pero yung parang yung visual din na parang may mga luma kang laruan na nakatago sa drawer. Parang,
Alam mo kung saan ako mas na-touch doon sa old tech toys? Yung nung nakita na nila, oh my God, parang this girl is so big na, laki-laki na niya.
Ay, oo.
Sobrang parang silang proud parents na
Yung-
tinitingnan siya na parang, oh my God, look at her hair. Parang she's so tall.
tsaka yung, oh my God, we went to Disneyland. Oh, that's you. You went with her. Parang, oh my God, yes. So, oh God. Oh my God. This movie,
gusto ko
man.
yun.
This
Yung
movie, man.
Sentimental siya.
Oo.
And it uses nostalgia so very well talaga.
Gusto ko yung tinawag din doon yung ang tawag ni Smarty Pants sa kanila, the double A team.
The double 18.
The double A team is back, baby. Ay, Diyos ko.
Pero yun nga, di ba? Even tech toys experience that kind of abandonment. Kaya you can't just, hate them generally speaking.
Mm.
All of them. Kasi mas mabilis ang turnover ng mga tech toys now because of how fast technology, evolves.
That's true. I love this movie. Talaga. I mean, as much as
Not
di lang like, I love this movie. As much as I was severely disappointed by Toy Story 4. Buti na lang andun si Keanu Reeves. Duke kaboom. Pero, nasalba niya. Ako sa akin ako, sige, I would say na Toy Story 5 has earned its place in the franchise. It doesn't quite reach the heights of Toy Story 3. Toy Story 3 is a perfect movie.
1, 2, 3.
Okay? 3 is a perfect movie. Untouchable siya. Pero, mas closer to 1, 2, and 3, etong 5 kesa sa 4.
Let's just skip 4.
Oo, parang, okay. Ano lang siya. It could have been an email. Pero ikaw, for you, did it earn its place or parang, ano pa rin? Mas gusto na natapos na lang sana sa 3?
Medyo mahirap siya sa akin sagutin. Kasi para sa akin, the Andy story should have ended talaga. And then, Bonnie's story, dapat new toys na. Or different toys. Pero with this being Jessie's movie, parang bumalik yung faith ko na they will tell more stories na, kumbaga parang sa Star Wars. Parang umalis na tayo sa Skywalkers.
Okay.
Parang, this is step in the right direction.
Toy Story Rogue One.
Toy Story
Gusto
Andor.
niya Andor. Ay, nako.
But yeah, Jessie's story reflects something na talagang relevant. And ito pa rin talaga. Toy Story movies or any Pixar movie should have something relevant to say.
That's
Kasi
true.
yun lang naman yung nawawala sa Toy Story 4 eh.
Oo.
Parang naging footnote na lang yung Toy Story 4 eh. Parang hindi siya masyadong
Tsaka, sorry,
pinag-isipan.
masabi ko lang universally relevant. Yun ang keyword doon. That is why, as of time of recording, you can verify this, pero ballpark figure, this is the biggest opening weekend of the year
Mm.
at 320 million,
Mm-mm.
if I'm not mistaken, or parang around that, one of the biggest openings of the year. Kasi, yung sinasabi mo, na the good Pixars are relevant. I would add to that nga na it's supposed to be universally relevant. Kaya maganda yung mga Finding Nemo, yung mga Monsters Inc. Kasi
Inside Out.
Kasi meron siyang kwento na anyone who watches it, not just a specific
Demographic.
section, demographic, or group of people,
Age.
age, other demos, hindi ko na sabihin, na sila lang yung kinakausap ng sine.
Mm.
Pero ito kasi, no matter your age, no matter your race, no matter your gender, no matter your religion, you have had experiences with playthings and with technology. And that is why this movie is reaping the success that it's reaping right now. That's why this is top tier Pixar to.
Completely agree.
Sorry, hindi ko masabi na parang yung Elemental or
No.
yung Luca,
Elio.
Turning Red, Lightyear. Hindi ko
Those
na,
are niche movies.
hindi na ako mag-go into detail, pero tama ka. Those are niche. Those speak to specific demographics. Pero to, Pixar at its core, at its very best,
Is universal.
is universal.
Not
But it's-
Disney siya,
but
pero
it's-
not universal.
No, hindi yan. It's Disney.
It's Disney.
Not universal. Ayun ako. Pero, yun. Sige. Ako, this is a solid A. Toy Story 5. Return to form for the franchise.
Same.
Yes,
Solid A.
Solid A. Talaga, this is one movie na you shouldn't miss. Talagang watch it in the cinema.
Watch it with your kids.
Kids are gonna go bananas for the toy stuff, pero the
Millennials
parents
will cry.
Every 20 minutes, kayo hihikbi. Bakit maalikabok sa loob ng sinihan? Bakit
Napuwing lang.
puwing? Charot niyo. Ay, nako. Okay, so that's it for our episode talking about Power Ballad and Toy Story 5. If you've seen any of the films that we talked about today, please share your thoughts with us. We'd love to hear from you. Comment it below on our social media postings, FB, IG, or on our Spotify, YouTube, or even Apple Podcast episode pages if you like. Yan. And yeah.
Don't forget, of course, to set your players to automatically download our new episodes so you don't miss out on our fun Sinigi conversations. Of course, we release our episodes now every Mondays, so please take note of that. And while you're at it, give us a 5-star rating on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and a thumbs up on YouTube if you enjoyed or if you had fun listening and watching this episode.
That's true. And kahit glowing yung aming reviews today, the studio and the distributors did not have any creative control or editorial approval of our reviews. In this episode, they are hearing it for the first time, same as you are.
As always. And for my co-host Troy, this has been Angela. Thank you for listening and watching this episode of the Cine Geeks podcast, where movies, TV, and good vibes collide.